Something strange happens when you start healing. Not when you announce it. Not when you post quotes about peace. Not when you say you're working on yourself. No. The real shift begins when you quietly stop participating in the old pattern. When you stop begging to be chosen. When you stop over-explaining. When you stop chasing people who only loved your weakness. That is when the atmosphere changes. People become colder, stranger, sharper. The same people who once tolerated you suddenly seem disturbed by your presence. And at first you think you're imagining it, but you're not. Because healing does not just change how you feel. It changes the role you once played in other people's unconscious drama. And many people never loved the real you. They loved the version of you that made them comfortable. The wounded you, the guilty you, the available you, the self-abandoning you. So when you begin to heal, they don't just lose access to your old energy. They lose control of the psychological arrangement they had with you. And that is where the secret hatred begins. This is the twist no one tells you. People do not secretly hate you because you're becoming better. They secretly hate you because your healing forces them to meet the parts of themselves they have spent years avoiding. And in Jungian language, you have become the mirror. Most people think healing is private, a personal journey, a quiet inner process. But real healing is disruptive, because every wounded version of you served a function in somebody else's life. Your people-pleasing made someone feel powerful. Your confusion made someone feel certain. Your emotional dependency made someone feel needed. Your lack of boundaries gave someone unlimited access. Your silence protected entire systems, family systems, friend groups, romantic dynamics, work hierarchies. Every unconscious system assigns roles: the peacemaker, the clown, the scapegoat, the overgiver, the emotional trash can, the one who always understands, the one who never leaves. And the moment you begin healing, you begin resigning from the role. That is why healing feels lonely. Not because you are doing something wrong, but because you are no longer willing to perform the character that kept everyone else comfortable. And unconscious people will call that change arrogance, coldness, selfishness, distance. But often, what they call selfish is simply your refusal to continue bleeding for their convenience. This is why your healing irritates people who benefited from your wounds, not because you harmed them, but because you stopped being useful in the old way. And usefulness is often mistaken for love in immature relationships. Read that again. Many people do not miss you. They miss access. They miss influence. They miss the old doorway into your nervous system. When the door closes, they feel rejected. But what they are really experiencing is the end of entitlement. And the human ego does not handle that well. Carl Jung understood something most people never will. Human beings do not merely react to facts. They react to what those facts awaken inside them. And this is where the shadow enters. The shadow is everything a person refuses to see in themselves. Their envy, their cowardice, their dependency, their resentment, their manipulativeness, their unlived life, the truths they buried to survive. Now here is the part that matters. When you begin healing, you become evidence. Evidence that change is possible. Evidence that boundaries can exist. Evidence that pain can be transformed. Evidence that someone can break the cycle. And that evidence is unbearable to people who are still committed to their dysfunction. Because your transformation silently asks them a question they do not want to hear. If I can change, why haven't you? That question alone can generate hatred. Not open hatred, not always. Sometimes it comes disguised as mockery, dismissal, passive aggression, withholding, subtle distance. That strange energy where someone smiles at you, but you can feel the blade behind their teeth. Because your healing has touched their shadow, you remind them of what they abandoned in themselves, their courage, their honesty, their dignity, their capacity to leave what is killing them, and instead of grieving that loss consciously, they project discomfort onto you. This is classic Jung. What they cannot integrate, they externalize. What they cannot face within, they attack without. So understand this clearly. When people secretly hate you for healing, they are often not responding to your behavior. They are responding to the mirror you have accidentally become. You do not need to preach. You do not need to correct them. Your existence is enough. Your peace is enough. Your silence is enough. Your boundaries are enough. To the unconscious mind, a healed person is offensive because they expose the fact that suffering is not always fate. Sometimes it is loyalty to an old identity. Let's make this even more personal. Some of you were trained from childhood to be emotionally manageable, to smile when hurt, to stay when disrespected, to forgive without repair, to carry tension so others could avoid it, to become so adaptive that you forgot what your real shape looked like. Then healing began. And suddenly you started saying things like, "No, that doesn't work for me. I need space. I'm not discussing this in that tone. I'm not available for that role anymore." And the world around you changed, because the people who once had unconscious access to you now had to encounter a person with form, with edges, with self-respect. And many people cannot relate to a healed version of you because the healed version requires them to meet you honestly, not strategically, not manipulatively, honestly. This is why a boundary feels like an insult to someone who profited from your lack of one. This is why your calm unsettles people who depended on your chaos. This is why your self-trust threatens those who relied on your self-doubt. You think they hate your healing, but more precisely, they hate the loss of access your healing created. They miss how available you were to guilt, how predictable you were in conflict, how easy it was to pull you back into old scripts. That is why some people become more agitated the calmer you get, because your nervous system is no longer dancing to the music they play. And once a manipulative dynamic stops working, the manipulator often reveals themselves, not by confessing, but by resenting your change. So if the energy around you has changed since you began healing, don't panic. A system in which you were once easy to control is simply reacting to your emergence. This is not failure. This is individuation. Now we arrive at the deepest layer, the most painful one, and perhaps the most human. Some people secretly hate you when you start healing, because your healing confronts them with the life they did not choose, the conversation they were too afraid to have, the relationship they were too afraid to leave, the truth they were too afraid to admit, the talent they abandoned, the addiction they renamed personality, the misery they normalized, the mask they fused with. Your transformation becomes a living reminder that they betrayed themselves somewhere along the way. And if they are not ready to face that grief, they may convert that grief into resentment toward you. This is the Carl Jung twist most surface-level healing content never touches. Sometimes people are not angry because you changed. They are angry because part of them wanted to and didn't. Part of them knows you are living out the courage they postponed. Part of them recognizes their own imprisoned self in your liberation. And instead of blessing you, they punish you internally for showing them what freedom looks like. Because freedom is beautiful from a distance, but devastating up close. It exposes every compromise, every excuse, every counterfeit loyalty, every place where a person settled for survival over truth. So when you heal, you are not just changing your life, you are activating grief in those who stayed behind psychologically. Grief for the self they could have become. Grief for the years lost. Grief for the unlived life. And grief, when unconscious, often wears the face of disdain. Mockery is often mourning in disguise. Contempt is often wounded admiration that refuses to kneel. That is why some of the people who secretly resent you also study you, watch you, compare themselves to you. They do not understand why your peace bothers them so much. But deep down, something in them knows. You are not just leaving the old pattern, you are proving it was escapable. So what do you do with this? Do you shrink? Do you reassure everyone? Do you become softer, smaller, more digestible? Do you return to old wounds so others can remain undisturbed? No. That would be self-betrayal disguised as kindness. Instead, do something rarer. Become harder to provoke, easier to read, and impossible to possess. Do not hate them back. That binds you to the same unconscious game. Do not perform your healing for applause. That turns transformation into vanity. Do not over-explain your boundaries. Truth does not become more true because it is defended for 10 minutes instead of 1. Just understand what is happening. Name it privately. This person is reacting to the loss of my old role. This person is uncomfortable with the mirror. This resentment does not automatically mean I've done anything wrong. That naming matters, because what is named can be observed, and what is observed cannot rule you so easily. This is where stoic detachment becomes sacred. You stop taking every reaction personally. You stop assuming every withdrawal is your fault. You stop making another person's discomfort the judge of your truth. You let people have their interpretation, and you keep walking. Not everyone is meant to travel with the healed version of you. Some people were assigned to a chapter, not the whole story. Some people only knew how to love your fractures. And when the fractures began closing, they no longer recognized you. Let them go with dignity, without revenge, without begging, without collapsing into the old identity just to keep the peace. Because peace built on self-erasure is not peace. It is slow spiritual suffocation, and the healed self can no longer breathe there. So if you've felt the chill, if you've sensed the distance, if you've noticed that some people became colder the moment you became clearer, do not be surprised. Your healing changed the field. You stopped volunteering for roles that required your diminishment. You stopped carrying projections that were never yours. You stopped negotiating with disrespect just to avoid being alone. And in doing so, you became dangerous to the unconscious. Not cruel, not superior, not perfect, just unavailable for distortion. That alone will make certain people resent you. But hear this carefully. Their resentment is not proof that your healing is wrong. Sometimes it is proof that it is real. Because real healing is not becoming more lovable to everyone. It is becoming more truthful with yourself. It is refusing to trade your soul for belonging. It is stepping out of inherited roles, inherited guilt, inherited fear. It is becoming, in Jung's language, an individual, not a performance, not a mask, an integrated being. And integrated people disturb those who survive through fragmentation. So let them call you different. You are. Let them say you've changed. You have. Let them feel the loss of the version of you that no longer exists. That ghost is gone. And it is not your job to resurrect it for their comfort. You are not being punished. You are being revealed. And some people can only love you when they can use you. That is not love. That is dependence wearing a sentimental disguise. So keep healing, quietly, deeply, without apology, because the moment you stop living as a container for other people's shadow, you begin to feel the terrifying holy weight of your own life. And that is where freedom begins. If this found you at the exact moment you needed the language for what you've been feeling, comment, individuated, not for me, for yourself, as a marker, as a signal, as proof that you will never again abandon your healing just because it makes others uncomfortable. And if you're one of the few who can feel the truth behind the mask, stay close. This channel was made for those learning how to survive awakening without returning to sleep.